The text widget is a rectangular box that allows user to type text in multiple lines. So if you need an input in multiple lines, then you can use this widget. Otherwise, you can use entry widget if you need only single line entry. In this image, this is the feedback form, and the white space over here is a text widget. Here we have provided some text in multiple lines. Apart from that, notepad, sticky note kind of applications can be created using this widget. So let's go ahead and learn how to create this widget. So this is my VS Code editor, and I have written a sample code for creating a Tkinter application. To create a text widget, just type text with capital T followed by the window where you want to place it. In my case, it is WS, and then you can just pack it, or you can use any geometry manager. So here you can see that the application has appeared. You can type any text over here. Now if you want to change the size of this widget, it can be changed by controlling the height and width of this application. Now this is how the application is look like now. So this is the text widget where I can type any text. Now if you want to change the size of the font, you can simply go ahead and change the font. This we have done in the entry widget as well. Now here you can see that the Python word is it's not wrapping up actually. It's half is appearing over here and half is appearing in the next line. You can change that by changing the value in the wrap. So wrap accepts three parameters. One is none, another one is by character or by word. So by default it is set to by character. If the space is available, the window will try to adjust a character. So let's say wrap equals to word. Now if I will set it to the word, now if I will try to write a word over here, now you can see that as soon as I was typing this word, this word was not complete. So that's why it has moved to the next line instead of adjusting it in the available space. So that is the difference. Let's do the same thing using the char. If I'll change it to the char. Now you can see that that has been THA is placed in the first line and the other part is placed in the last line. You can also set it to none, but by default none means character, so it will set to char only. So let me make it to the word. You can also change the background color and the text color. So background color BG, let's give it blue. Foreground color, it's FG, let's give it red. This is how the window is appearing now. The text is red. You can also provide the hexa code over here. So let me change it to hexa code. Okay, I forgot hash over here. Let me give a background color to the window as well. Now you can see that this is how it is appearing. I can provide any text over here, and the text color is changed, background color is changed. Next thing you can do is you can provide a highlight background color. So what this will do, until and unless we don't focus on this widget, it will stay in the green color. So right now we are not seeing the border. We have to create it actually. We have to increase the border so that we can see this. So in order to increase the thickness of the border, we have to use highlight thickness. So let's give it 10. Now you can see that the border is appearing with the green color. The moment I will click on this widget, it will disappear. Now since it has changed, just now it has changed to some other color, you can change this color as well. So for that you have to provide highlight color. So let's give it pink. So now as soon as I will click on this one, it will turn into pink. Next option is insert a width. Let's provide a width of 10. Now this is the width of the cursor. So you can see that the cursor is appearing little thick over here. You can also increase more size for this one. Let's make it 50 so that we can see the difference. Okay, I'm sorry, I made it 40. Let's go by this one only. So now you can see that it's a very thick cursor. You can also change the color for this cursor. So for that I will use insert background and I will give it as yellow. Now you can see the cursor color is yellow. If you want to add a 3D effect on this cursor, then you can go ahead and do that using insert border width, and let me give it as 10. Now you can see that the cursor is appearing in a 3D way. Let me make it a little more big so that you can see that. Let's make it 100 and let's reduce it to 5. Now you can see this is how it is appearing now, and in order to strike the difference, let me go ahead and make it 0. Okay, let's do it 0 and then I will again do it 5. This is the simple cursor and this is how it will look like when it is turned to 3D one. You can also change the blinking timings. So right now it is on and then it is off. So the default value is 300 milliseconds. So you can observe the blinking of this cursor. That thing can also be controlled. So 300 milliseconds is the blinking on and off time. 300 milliseconds it appears, and for 300 milliseconds it is disappeared. So that thing can be controlled using an option insert off time and insert on time. So off time means for how many seconds or milliseconds it won't be appearing, and on time is for how many milliseconds or seconds it will be appearing. So if I'll give 1000 over here, that means it will be disappeared for 1000 seconds. That means 1 second, sorry, 1000 milliseconds means 1 second. And let's say for 5 seconds we want to see it. So it should be on the screen for 5 seconds and then should disappear for 1 second. So now you can see it is appearing for 5 seconds and then disappear for 1 second, then again appear for 5 seconds. So this is how it will do. If I'll just reduce it to 300 or maybe 500, I guess. So let's make it 500. Appearing, disappearing, appearing, disappearing. So this is what you can do with this thing. Another option is relief. So we won't be able to see relief until unless we don't comment these ones. So there are a couple of options for relief one, but my favorite one is solid. So it creates a border around this widget. So here you can see that there is a black border. You can also set it to sunken. Now although it is not appearing clearly, but it is actually going inside the window. So in the document section of this video, we have provided all the options that you can use here. Now let me make it solid and remove the comments from here. Next option is select background color. So every time when we are running this application, you can see if we have written Python guides. Now if we try to select this, the background color is blue. Let me reduce that thing as well. So it's done. Now if I am trying to select this, you can see a blue colored background over here. So this color can be changed using a select background color. Select background color, and let me change it to some random color which is #3D6 or maybe 3D5. Now let's try Python guides. Now you can see that it has changed to green. So you can set any color for that. Next option is regarding the spacing. So right now if I am writing anything, it is appearing on the very top and there is no space. So there are three types of spacing available in this with this widget. One is spacing 1, spacing 2 and spacing 3. So spacing 1 basically it adds a space on the top. So every time you will start writing, it will appear somewhere here. The text will start appearing from here. So it creates a margin on the top. The spacing 2 adds a margin after a wrap. So let's say if I am continuously writing something. Python guide is the website that offers free source. So now the space will appear over here. It did not, something like that. So there will be a margin created. Space will be created over here. Space 3 does what? It adds a space after this. Every time we hit the enter, there will be a space. So let's go ahead and see that. Spacing 1. Let me give it 10 pixels. Now if I am going to write something, Python guides, you can see a space on the top. Let's add more space so that we can see it clearly. Now you can see that you can see a space added on the top of this first text. If I will type the same thing in the next line, again every time I will hit the enter, this space will keep on appearing. Next is space 2. So let's see what it does. Python guides is a website tab. So now you can see that I have not hit the enter over here, but still the text is appearing after a little space over here. So this is what you can do. Last is spacing 3. This adds the space at the bottom of this text. So every time I am hitting enter, there is a space, and there is also a space at the bottom. After that, we have other options as undo. If we will use the combination Ctrl Z or Ctrl Z on our keyboard, then previous changes will take effect. So it will move to it will undo all the changes actually. So we all know about this. So let's say if it is set to true, and I'll run it and I'll type something, Python guides is a website, and I'll use the combination Ctrl Z or Ctrl Z. So it will come back to the previous session, like previous text. So that thing is true. That's why we are able to do that. If I'll set it to false, by default it is false actually. Sorry. Now if I will try to do Python guides, now I am using the combinations, but it is not working. So that thing can be controlled using this. Now if I'll set it to true, I will be able to option one more power of this widget, that is maximum undos. So how many maximum undos I can do? So let's say max undo, I'll set to 3, and then I'll run once again. Let's say this is line 1, this is line 2, this is line 3, this is line 4. Now if I'll just tap the combinations, which is Ctrl Z, line 4 gone, line 3, okay, I made the changes over here, that's why it is also done. Now I am not able to make, because I have occupied the quota of 3. So I can make 3 changes only. I can undo 3 changes only. Our last option in the text widget is tabs. So how many space do I want to add when I will hit the tab key on my keyboard? So let's say I'll give it 100 so that we can see it properly. So it will be 100 pixels. So I have written Python, then I have hit the tab on my keyboard, and now you can see sufficient space has been added. Now let's make it to 10. So now this is the 10 pixels, so it's less, but try to understand, if I would have made it 50 or 100, it would have been more. So this is how you can create text widget in Python Tkinter. Now let's go ahead and learn how to use the information inserted by the user in this widget. So let's say if user has provided their input, what to do with that input. So like we did in the entry widget, we can fetch the information using the get method, and using the delete method we can clear the so let's go ahead and learn both the ways. First of all, I will create a function with the name clear text widget, and I will also provide a variable name to this one. We cannot use text variable over here, but we can use a variable over here. We can assign a variable to this. So let's say feedback. Now feed dot get. Okay, I have to clear this, so I will use delete. Then I need to provide the index number. In text widget, the starting point is not 1, it's 1.0. So I have to provide 1.0 here. So the reason is 1 here shows the row and 0 shows the column. Look at this word over here, Python main. So these are the P, Y, T, H, O, N is the value after the decimal, and P here, P, second P, third P, fourth P is the value before the decimal. And then we have to provide the range, like to what will be the end range. You can also write end if you want to go to the last index. Let's run the program. Okay, we have not called the function actually, so we have to create a button to trigger this function. Let me reduce the height of this application. Now you can see the text has been cleaned. If you want to delete it to a specific character or line, then you can change this end to let's say I want to delete the 6th character from the first, then I will say 1.6 over here. Run it. Guides. Now you can see that 6th character has been deleted. Similar thing if you want to do it in other lines. If there is a text in other line and you want to delete that, you can just change the value from 1 to 2, 3, 4, whichever line it is. So that's how we can use the delete method. Our main method is how to fetch the information. So let's see that. Get text feed dot get bracket open close, and then we have to provide from where we want to start fetching the information and what will be the end point, the way we had did it with the delete one. So I will type it 1.0. From 1.0 I want all the text, and I have to trigger this function. Also, I need a label so that I can print the information there. So let's go ahead and do that. I will create a label at the, okay, let me do one thing. Let me print it over here so that I can show how it can be done. Now if I will type something, let's say Python guides is a programming based website. Fetch. Now you can see on the terminal the information has been printed. We can also paste this information on the label. For that we have to create a label and place it on the WS. Let's name the label as message and let's configure this one. msg.config and then the text will be equals to feed.get and all of this information over there. Also, I want to reduce some height because it's very lengthy. So let's make it to 4. Now, now there is a label appearing on that. We can modify that, but as soon as I will click on the fetch button, whatever the message I will type over here, it will appear there. So here you can see that the text is appearing. So this is how we can use the text widget in Python Tkinter. So with this we have completed the information about text widget. We have not used two options in that. Those are X scroll command and Y scroll command. So these are related to the scroll bars, and we will be discussing it in our next topic, that is scroll bars.